This e-bike right here is your weekday commuter and your weekend weapon. So I'm going to be honest, I do have a really tight connection with this model, the El Diablo. I did ride 4,000 kilometers on this model a few years ago from Perth to Sydney. So if it can take me 4,000 Ks, I'm sure it can take you on your daily commute. So this bike actually really feels like a bike that's electric. It doesn't have the fat tires, it doesn't have the really long seat where you kind of sit there and your legs pop out. At least it happens to me because I'm really tall, and you just have to use the throttle. This thing has a throttle which you can activate and deactivate, but I personally really prefer just to pedal it. The pedal assist is really good. The torque sensor that it uses is really smooth, and it just feels like you're riding a bike but just have incredibly powerful legs. I usually have it at 500 watt because I'm in New South Wales. You can set it to 250 if you're outside New South Wales, and then you can set it to off-road and activate the throttle if you want. If you're using it off-road, the throttle law right now is you can ride your e-bike up to 6 Ks an hour. So to be honest, a lot of customers have just disconnected the throttle and gotten rid of it straight away because this bike is made for pedaling. We've been selling the El Diablo for close to 6 years. We've just been listening to people's feedback, listening to customers and bike shops and seeing how we should improve it year by year. To be honest, I don't really know how we're going to improve this one. I'm excited to see what we'll do this time next year. It just feels like a really comfortable e-bike. It just flies up hills. It's pretty low key as an e-bike, and the feedback on it's great. So you do have the ability to change the wattage, so it can be 250 watt, 500 watt, or off-road setting, which can meet your laws in your state. So we do have the motor in the back here, and then we've got a torque sensor. We found that when you're using a torque sensor, it feels really similar to a mid-drive. So down the track, say 3-4 years, if you have an issue with that motor, I can just swap the wheel out. We'll send you a wheel, you just replace the wheel. You don't need to send the entire bike and deal with the motor in the middle there if you were dealing with a mid-drive. So that's always super handy. We're still servicing El Diablos that we sold 6 years ago, 7 years ago even. So they're coming back. They've got really good longevity, which we really take pride in with our bikes. We want to see our bikes going for, you know, close to a decade. We're still servicing our bikes from 8 years ago when we started. Really comfy bike, 27.5 inches wheels. So this is the bike that's actually going to get you back outside riding. A lot of people think that once you get an e-bike, you get lazy, but on average, you actually commute about double the amount of times that you would if you had a normal bike. So this is going to get you out there, especially because it feels a lot like a bike. This is also a really basic but important feature. I'll be sitting with this saddle pretty high because I'm quite tall, and then if a friend wants to borrow it, because I promise a friend is going to want to borrow it, you can drop that seat all the way down. So that's anywhere from someone who's 4'11" to 5 foot. So that adjustable seat is really handy. You've got that really smooth torque sensor, so as soon as you put your foot on a pedal, it's just gonna kick in slightly, and then the harder you push on the pedal, the faster you're gonna go. And it's just so smooth, it feels great. We do find most of the time when customers have a go on this, they go straight away, they go, this is the bike for me. They can just feel it, they can see how smooth it goes, and they just climb hills and they just love it. We got really powerful brakes on the front here, Tektro hydraulic disc brakes. You got a bit of front suspension. It just feels like your OG bike that you used to ride when you were younger, and that just has that extra force that comes from the rear wheel from the motor. It comes in at about 27 kilos. You can take the battery out here, detachable, which weighs about 3.5 kilos. It's pretty light, alloy frame. We're still seeing the first ever Diablos that we sold come in and get serviced. They're still lasting super long. I imagine this bike's gonna go for at least 6 to 8 years. We love to see longevity in our bikes. We've got a bit of a rack here where you can put some stuff on the back. A lot of people will put all their shopping on the back. You can also put a rack on the front there as well. I also have the ability on the menu to activate my throttle or turn my throttle off. I can set the throttle to a speed limit. So if you are in New South Wales, that speed limit is 6 Ks an hour. We've got integrated lights, which means you can turn the light on the front and the back. So if you've got battery, you've got lights. We've got the throttle on the left here, Shimano gear system and a bell with some really powerful brakes. We've also got that really comfy front suspension. You can try this bike at 50 shops around Australia, or you can come into our new warehouse in Marrickville and give it a test right there. This El Diablo 2025, she just absolutely flies.